Coming this week to Kansas City, Missouri, eastern Jackson County, KCK, and Wyandotte County, new guidelines that will ask bars and restaurants to stop accepting customers inside after 10 o'clock. Now, stores are also asked to limit capacity to 50%, and public gatherings will now be capped at 10 people or fewer.
Johnson County's new order, which took effect on Monday, mandates masks and limits gathering sizes. However, there are exceptions for stores, restaurants, schools, places of worship, and more.
Now at 5, we told you how the changes could be impacting people's holiday plans. But what if your livelihood relies on people getting together?
As our Leslie Aguilar explains, the new orders mean no big weddings, parties, or reunions. Leslie.
Right now, the Simpson House here on Walnut Street and 45th doesn't have any events on their books until spring of next year. The newest restrictions didn't really have an effect on them because they were already not having any events booked. But for event planners, those new restrictions are causing a huge headache. Dana Bockeling started her wedding planning business 10 years ago.
With 2020 being the most difficult, I would say, of those 10 years.
With all the wedding cancellations, she's taken a financial hit, yet she's working more hours than ever.
The amount of work that I've done this year, I've planned some weddings 3 times.
Buckling actually appreciates Kansas City's newest restrictions because at least they are clear-cut. She says some jurisdictions make their guidelines confusing, making for a wild ride in the planning process.
I always had Plan A and Plan B. That was how I approached all of my events pre-COVID. Now I have Plan A through H.
Despite the hardship, Bockeling believes following health guidelines is the right thing to do. She's got a lot of clients who are doctors and nurses battling COVID-19 on the front lines.
And they're putting themselves at risk to help the public. And I feel that it's our responsibility to allow them at some point to have their special day. And by following these guidelines and trying to keep each other safe is the way we can do that.
It's not just weddings being affected by the ban on mass gatherings.
Usually we would have a packed Christmas schedule with corporate events and family events and so forth. We don't have a single event booked at the house until March, or actually maybe even April.
Charles Dickerson manages the Simpson House.
I can't imagine a worse time to manage an event space than in a pandemic.
He says annual corporate events have canceled, as well as dozens of weddings, which is hard, but he's expecting a packed schedule, hopefully by next summer.
Until March.
Now in Kansas City, the new order restricts gatherings of 10 people or less, but you can submit a plan to the health department, and if you get approval, you can have an event with more people than that. Reporting live in Kansas City, Leslie Aguilar, KCTV 5 News.